Gateway FM.
Joining me now, Natasha Stark, Amsterdam Managing Partner at a recruitment agency. It's called DMCG Global. Welcome to the Drive Time Show, Natasha. And how many people do you think are interested in working abroad now in the UK? Good afternoon to you.
Hi, Roslyn. Yeah, I think that certainly more than 1 in 5 have been sort of worried that Brexit might harm their chance of working elsewhere. But I also think that a lot of people really do want to live and work abroad still, even though there have been sort of slight restrictions put in after leaving the EU. I think, it's important to check those government websites to see what that's going to be per country. But yeah, people certainly still want to do that.
Yeah. So new immigration requirements, have they kind of got in the way of this though?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's not just as easy as picking up your passport anymore. I think, everybody is now a highly skilled migrant, so that's the HSM coming in. But, we're here to say that it is still possible, keeping the dream alive. And I think that, we're here to sort of to help and to give tips on really what the best solutions are for people.
Yeah, and in the other direction, of course, we've now got this points-based system as well. Is that sort of relevant on the continent as well? Do other countries have this?
Not so much the points base. That's more Australia, I think. But certainly within the EU, there are salary requirements and things like that. So yeah, it's worth looking at your individual sector, and certainly, as I said, just referring to government websites on that one.
Yeah. So we've got to look at the things that are enticing people to work abroad. What would you say that is?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think just generally new experiences. I think that the weather is a big thing, a little bit of a change, but it's not so different here in Amsterdam, to be quite honest with you. But just a different experience. I mean, you've got one life, and I think that you should pack it all in when you can. And really, even if it's just for a year or two, living in a different country puts a hugely different perspective on things, and can also really help your career.
Yeah, well, I've been to Amsterdam on more than one occasion, and I've got to say I love the city. Hired a bicycle, cycling around there with my other half. We just loved it, and I guess the thought of moving abroad, yes, it was enticing, but of course responsibilities here in the UK to family and to pets as well, which we've got
Yeah.
lots of, kind of get in the way of that. But what are the things, if anybody's considering it, that people should consider to better their employability for companies abroad? And I'm thinking language is going to be one of the things, because us Brits, we're not very good at learning other languages like they are learning ours.
Yeah, I mean, there was some research done actually by Rosetta Stone that said more than a third agree that to speak another language will improve job prospects. And I think that this is really important. I think it can help to increase your salary if you're thinking of moving. It can also help you embark on a new career as well, and just embed you in the culture a little bit more. I would also say that upskilling in your particular sector is really important. Learning and development, anything that you can kind of put on your CV that says, look, I'm accomplished at this, I've really put energy behind this. And also not forgetting, the whole kind of digital transformation that I think a lot of people are noticing. It's really sort of increased and speeded up in the last year for sure.
Well, I was going to mention that, Natasha, because this pandemic has forced a lot of us to have to stay at home. Many of us are having to work from home, and the internet, obviously, if we didn't have this, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing like we're doing now, actually, on the radio today.
Yeah.
Do you think that this creates better flexibility, that one can live somewhere else and still work perhaps for the same company in another country?
Absolutely. I mean, we've got that happening at the moment. We specifically deal with sort of marketing and brands and things like that. And a lot of people are in London but working with companies in Spain, from between London and here in Amsterdam. I've got a lot of people that are, at home. It doesn't matter where they are at the moment. I mean, the important thing to look at with that, though, is tax implications. I think that's an important thing, just to bring it all back down to earth, for the laptop lifestyle. But as long as you're flexible and you can move around, then yeah, why not do it? It's made it possible for sure.
Natasha, I've got to ask you this question. What do you love about Amsterdam?
Well, I just think it's the work-life balance, to be honest with you. People are a bit more relaxed, I would say. They take off, a huge chunk of time in the summer. Everybody goes away for, I've got my neighbours that disappear off for 3 weeks, which is sort of, completely alien to those of us that have worked in London. Like a week off is difficult. But yeah, so I think there's that. They really value their leisure time. That's definitely something.
Excellent. And obviously you do too. Where can our listeners go for more information?
Well, I think first off, government websites, check those, because each country in the EU is different. And then, yeah, if you do want to learn a language, as I said, Rosetta Stone is one that people do tend to stick to, because it's more like a course. So that's really good. And then otherwise, yeah, I think there's various blogs and things like that where you get kind of first-hand information from people that actually live there. So
How's your Dutch? How do
it's
you
not too bad. I've got my 4-year-old speaks native Dutch because he was born here. So
Yes.
I've always thought that I need to get up to speed more, actually, because but everyone speaks such good English. That's the problem. But no, it's like
Yeah.
carrying around a little translator.
Well, it makes us lazy, doesn't it, when everyone else speaks English there? But thanks for coming on the show to speak to me and to my listeners today. You're Natasha Stark, Amsterdam Managing Partner, DMCG Global. We can find you online. And do have a great weekend.
Thanks, Roz. You too.